So I just wanted to read this article to everyone, to just encourage anyone and everyone that has kids to just be like so careful about who you allow around your kids. Because Justin Harrington, 32, of Whitaker, Indiana, has been sentenced to 30 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to sexual exploitation of a child and distributing and possessing child sexual abuse material. According to court documents, in 2012, Harrington sexually abused a 5-year-old child in his care, custody, or control in Morgan County. Harrington's abuse of the child was discovered in 2012, and he was arrested and charged in state court. He was convicted of child molestation in 2014 and spent 446 days in prison before being released to serve the remainder of his sentence on probation. Harrington was also ordered to register as a sex offender against children for the remainder of his life. After his release from prison, Harrington began distributing, receiving, and possessing child abuse material, including a previously unknown image he produced of his victim engaged in sexually explicit conduct in approximately 2012, when he was sexually abusing the child. On March 6, 2019, law enforcement officials received a report from a drugstore employee who believed Harrington had submitted images of child sexual abuse to the store for photo processing. Law enforcement officers arrested Harrington later that day when he arrived at the store to pick up the images. Further investigation of Harrington's digital device uncovered numerous images and videos of child sex abuse material of prepubescent children under the age of 12, including the image of his victim. Many of the images, messages, and search items or search terms located on Harrington's device demonstrated a sexual obsession with children in diapers. Fucking weirdo. Forensic investigation of all Harrington's digital devices proved that he belonged to a Russian-based website known by law enforcement for spreading child sexual abuse material. The investigation also revealed Harrington was in the process of grooming a 13-year-old via chat hour and Snapchat. Online, Harrington claimed to be an 18-year-old and nearly enticed the girl to send him sexually explicit images of herself and meet him in person. At the time of his arrest, Harrington was in a relationship with an individual that had a 5-year-old child, in violation of the terms of his release for child molestation. Information on Harrington's device revealed he attempted to get jobs at local daycares as a babysitter and even responded to a Craigslist advertisement seeking a babysitter for a 4-year-old. Oh, it makes me mad. I'm like kind of shaking reading this, but that really pisses me off. On or about August 6, 2019, Harrington was charged with federal offenses and ordered detained pending trial. In August 2021, while in federal custody, Harrington used detention facility mail to send a suggestive depictions of children wearing diapers, including his victim, that were produced to his attorneys during his state prosecution to at least 19 other inmates around the country. Which, like, what the fuck? How did he get those pictures? Like, he's using the jail mail to do that. It's just so, like, brazen and disgusting. And, like, what in the world? How did he get his hands on those pictures again? Like, who are his lawyers? They should be charged too. It's fucking crazy, man. Okay, anyways, back to the article. Zachary A. Myers, United States Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana, John Richards, Chief of Martinsville Police Department, Herbert J. Stapleton, Special Agent in charge of the FBI's Indianapolis Field Office, and Doug Carter, Indiana State Police Superintendent, made the announcement. For years, this insatiable child sex predator demonstrated utter disregard for the safety and dignity of children to satisfy his own sick lusts, said Zachary A. Myers, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana. It is especially chilling that he was grooming an additional victim online and repeatedly sought to work in daycares and as a babysitter. The sentence imposed today demonstrates that a civilized society will simply not tolerate these heinous crimes against our children. I commend the Martinsville Police Department, Indiana State Police, and Indiana Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force for working together to remove this dangerous pedophile from our community. Martinsville Police Department, Indiana State Police, and Indiana Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and FBI investigated the case. The Morgan County Prosecuting Attorney Office prosecuted the related state cases. The sentence was imposed by U.S. District Court Judge James R. Sweeney. Judge Sweeney also ordered Harrington be supervised by the U.S. probation officer for life following his release from federal prison. Harrington must continue to register as a sex offender where he lives, works, and goes to school as required by law, and has been ordered to pay restitution to his victim. A couple things that I took from this article that I feel like are just like relevant in this particular moment. Yesterday on Ruckus Rocks, he was talking on his program about why people talk about Doug Carter in this whole Delphi arrests and just case in general. And for one, Doug Carter has put himself out there as like the face of this, but Doug Carter is also involved in cases like this, like the Buster Hernandez case, which was also out of Indiana and had all those departments involved in that case as well, which I think is really why the FBI and everybody was involved in this case from the very beginning, is because that Snapchat aspect anymore. But Doug Carter like always stuck with this case because it just, like he said, it weighs heavy on his heart. And so I wanted to mention that. And the other thing I wanted to mention is when they talk about the photos being processed, what if like that was how Rick Allen is involved in the whole thing? Is like he worked at a photo processing place, right? So he could decide, like, you know, if you had like pictures you wanted developed that were of that nature, you could take them when he was working, and he would make sure that nobody else saw them, and that they got developed and off to the right sick people, you know. So that's just like something that struck me from this article that I thought could be like a very valid thing that could be how Rick Allen could be linked to a lot of people, you know. I'm going to do a little bit of research because I've never even heard of this other website or that they were saying that he was trying to get a hold of that 13-year-old girl on. You just gotta really, chat hour, via chat hour. So I'll look into that and I'll make a video on that. You really have to pay attention to what your kids are on, and just talk to them and like make them aware of like the things that could happen, and just make sure that like you don't make them like scared to come to you if they were to get like sextorted or something. They need to know that even if they do something wrong, or if they've sent pictures before and now it's gotten out of hand and they don't know how to deal with it, that no matter what, it's not their fault, and that they can come to you and you'll help them and you won't shame them. And it, you know, like they didn't really do anything wrong, because they're just kids, and they're naive. They don't know. They trust people. It makes me like so mad because kids are just like the coolest ever. Like, it's important to keep them innocent and let them be kids. Thanks for watching this video. Catch you on the next one. Bye.